Welcome to the Fayette County Water System. The water system is responsible for producing clean drinking water through the potable treatment plants of Crosstown in South Fayette. The water sources for the Crosstown treatment plant include Lake McIntosh as well as Lake Kedron, which often feeds into Lake Peachtree. The county utilizes Lake McIntosh as the main source of water to treat in the Crosstown Water Treatment Plant. The Crosstown plant alone created 2.2 billion gallons of clean water for the public in 2019 and produces an average of 6 million gallons per day. The water from Lake McIntosh is taken in through the water selector and the water intake building. The water selector reaches a depth of approximately 24 feet. It has a total of 12 gates at 2-foot increments in order to measure chemical readings such as turbidity, chlorophyll, pH, and more. Through the water selector, the best water quality is chosen to reduce the cost of chemicals during the treatment process, since the water quality in the reservoir can change frequently. The water chosen is then pumped to the Crosstown plant to begin the process. The first stage of treatment is the pre-sedimentation stage, where sodium permanganate is added to oxidize iron and manganese. Powdered activated carbon can also be added for taste and odor control. Once these chemicals are added, the water is pumped into the raw water day pond to be stored. Water is taken out of the day pond to move on to the next step, the coagulation and flocculation stage. The water is pumped past the chemical building where aluminum sulfate is added to coagulate sediments together. Secondly, liquid lime is added for pH control. Thirdly, chlorine dioxide is added as a disinfectant. These chemicals are injected into the water and rapidly mixed once pumped into the pre-flash mixer. The water is then moved to the flocculators, which start the next stage of treatment, the sedimentation stage. The alum added in the previous stage allows the large particles and sediments to congeal together and settle at the bottom of the sedimentation basin to form sludge. The sludge at the bottom is cleaned out and emptied into drying beds to filter the remaining water into the lagoons. The water in the 2 lagoons at the front is recycled back into the day pond over time. This allows the wastewater to go through the treatment process again and minimize waste. The clean water remaining in the sedimentation basin is skimmed from the top to move into the next stage of treatment. Once the water moves from the sedimentation stage, chlorine gas is added as a disinfectant for the filtration stage. The water mixes with the chlorine and travels through the pipe gallery to go into one of the 8 filters. In the filtration stage, the filters remove the final particles in the water, which requires them to be cleaned and backwashed often to rid of remaining sediments. The operators start the backwashing process approximately 140 hours after the previous backwash. Similar to the sludge from the sedimentation stage, the dirty water is sent to the lagoons in order to be recycled back into the day pond. The Crosstown plant uses this zero-to-waste system to save water on backwashes and eliminate wasted water. This self-cleaning process is operated by one of the 8 FilterMagic control panels designated for that specific filter. In the post-filtration stage, phosphate is added for corrosion control during distribution, fluoride is added to prevent tooth decay, and liquid lime is added for pH control. Lastly, chlorine gas is added for a final disinfection. The water goes through a flash mix again in the post-flash mixer and is then pumped into one of the 2 clear wells. The clean water is held in either the 2 million gallon clear well or the 4 million gallon clear well. The water then goes to the finished pump station and leaves for distribution. The operators can control the clean water levels in the storage tanks and the pressure across the county through the use of the SCADA system. Throughout the entire process, the operators and lab analysts measure chemical readings and take data every 2 hours in the Crosstown lab. The amount and variety of tests are necessary to ensure clean, healthy water. This data must meet state guidelines and undergo regular checks from the Georgia Environmental Protection Division. The Fayette County water treatment plants of Crosstown and South Fayette serve more than 87,000 people across the county. This extensive treatment process allows the Fayette County water system to continuously provide clean, potable water for Fayette County residents.